Hello and welcome to another gaming review here on the YouTube channel for the Sanitarium.FM gamer radio station. I am the PredictedCyborg, and today, for a change, it's not an indie game, we'll be looking at the latest DLC for city builder game City Skylines by Paradox Interactive and Colossal Order. So, the new DLC is called Snowfall and adds, among other things, some weather effects and new winter-themed maps to the game of City Skylines, as if you couldn't really tell by the name. Some of that weather, in fact an awful lot of it, the main one of them is actually snowstorms. This, of course, is the second DLC to come out for this game after the After Dark expansion, which released in the autumn months of last year, and added a day and night cycle and leisure/tourism to the game. You shouldn't need to get the previous DLC, or indeed the deluxe version of the game, to own Snowfall and have it play, although obviously you will need the base game to be able to have something for Snowfall to add its wintry joy to, and Skylines as a game is not really that expensive to get anyway, thankfully. So, Snowfall's main effect on the game, as I said, is, well, you get new weather and temperature will become a consideration, even if you're not playing on one of the 3 new winter-themed maps that the DLC has added. A gauge of how warm or cold the weather is at that moment is now part of the default UI that you can see towards the bottom of the game window, placed right in the centre to make it just a little bit harder to miss, although it is still kind of small, so maybe your eyes will skip over it, I don't know. During the daytime, it will be warmer obviously, but the temperature will drop during the night time as the sun goes down, and because the day and night cycle was actually added to the base game as part of a free update when After Dark came out, you will actually get day and night time, so you will get to see the temperatures fluctuate. And of course, because it gets colder, that means that your citizens will actually need heating to stay warm. Heating is now a thing in this game, thanks to this DLC. So there's 2 ways that your citizens can get heating, 2 main ways. One of them is obviously through electricity, which will put just a little bit more of a strain on your power plants when it's colder. And the second is a range of heating options that include things like a geothermal heating plant and special heating and water pipes that you can actually unlock after you reach the Boomtown milestone, which, for those of you unaware, that means you have residents in your city that number 2,000 or more. So one effect that this does have is you find yourself spending a little bit more time planning the layout of your water pipes straight from the beginning of a game when you set up a new city, as it is possible to upgrade your default water pipes to the heating and water pipes. You're going to be wanting to do that because you'll find that the cost of heating will actually have a noticeable effect on the amount of money that you're going to be able to make. Sort of as the weather gets colder, the amount of money you'll be making will dip down a little bit, and then when it gets warmer, you'll start making more money again. And also, because of snowstorms, if you're using wind power to power your generators and everything, during a snowstorm you will actually be able to generate more power, which I suppose is a bonus. But of course, you need to sort of be careful you're not calculating that high-end total into your power generation sums, because it's not going to stay like that. So another factor of the game that's had some big additions made to it is of course transport, which is the bane of every City Skylines player's life. Believe me, I know it, because you need to construct these roads and you need to keep traffic moving along it, and every now and then things just get all blocked up and you spend ages trying to construct the roads and do other things to try and make traffic move smoothly again. And the upgrades to transport mainly come in the form of the addition of a new type of transport, but also a few considerations about the conditions of the roads themselves. To the new transport first. The new transport is trams. This is a type of transport that many fans of the game have been asking for since the game's release. The second, that you do unlock some transport options, so the second you would generally unlock the bus and the taxis, you will also unlock the trams. So as soon as you unlock some transport options, get hold of the trams and you'll have some road options with tram lines that can actually be found underneath the tram tab within the transport menu. again, there are the options to upgrade your existing roads into ones that can actually support the trams running on them within the same menus. Taking from real life city examples, I decided that because now we had trams, I decided I'd use them exclusively as a transport around the retail areas of my city, and I would no longer allow buses through there, which allowed me to remove the long colourful snakes of buses that used to be a major factor in backing up the traffic that was on there. I have so many memories of colourful bus snakes blocking up everything. So I decided to take a real life city example, have buses drop people off outside the retail areas and have them take trams from there. So far, it seems to be working out fine. When the city gets bigger, it might not work so well, but give it a try if you want. The road maintenance options are a new tab that can be found in the roads menu and consist of two things. First of all, road maintenance, which unlocks at the busy town milestone, which is 4,000 or more residents in your city, and will give your roads a little bit of an upgrade as they go along, which will allow traffic to move along it's just a little bit faster. So basically the road maintenance makes these roads smoother and, sort of newly resurfaced, so cars will not get bogged down with potholes so much. And the other thing to talk about with road maintenance, and the one that is themed for this DLC, is that you have the addition of something called the snow dump, which is kind of like the garbage dump, but will send out snow plows to go along your roads. And they mainly come into play on the winter maps. The snowstorms will blow in and not only bring the colder weather to make more heating necessary, and of course push up your wind production if you're using wind generators to generate your electricity, but the snow will actually come and cover your roads. And while traffic can and will move through this, icy and blocked roads are detrimental for your city, especially when, as I said before, transport is a big thing in this game, and you've already got enough things that hinder your ability to deal with it. So basically, put down a snow dump as soon as you can. They unlock at the same time as the garbage dump, and the sooner you put one down, the better, because even if you haven't experienced your first snowstorm yet, having your plows out there in the city before the roads begin to get blocked will save you so much time in the long run. Your roads will get blocked, and because your plows are already spread out throughout the city, they can get to work straight away, and your roads will remain that much clearer for that much longer. Of course, placing it down, you've got the same sort of coverage option, so you need to make sure that you're covering as much of your road as possible. And if you see a bit of road that needs a little bit of attention, make a pathway for your snow dumps to get there, and eventually the road will get cleared. Also of note, unlike the garbage dump, a snow dump will require both a supply of water and electricity. I'm assuming the electricity is to melt the snow that the snowplows bring in. Not entirely sure what the water's for, but I guess there's an office on site, and the people who work the snowplows need the water so they can make coffee. Or tea. Or possibly just get a drink of water, I don't know. Depends what... I can't really guess what my virtual people like. Of course, Snowfall does add an awful lot more to Skylines that is not immediately obvious as well, like smaller things, such as some new chirps, that is if you keep them switched on, like I tend to do. Some new achievements that you can get through Steam, mainly to do with experiencing the new weather types. New parks that are winter themed, including one that I think deals with a snowmobile track, which sounds like an awful lot of fun. And even a few new policies that relate to the new weather and heating content, such as barring people from using electricity for heating, so you better make sure that you've got your geothermal plant set up to supply your entire city adequately, and making it a requirement for all cars to have studded tyres when it's snowing, so they can get through icy roads just a little bit better. So there's always going to be something for you to do in some little way. You can tweak your districts and your city and how things are working. So if you're that type of person, you can continue to micromanage every little bit of your city. Or if you're not so into the micromanage part of this game, you can just really push ahead and Try and build the best snowbound city you can on a new map, trying to balance your funds while you continue expanding. Or you can turn on the unlimited money option and just make your dream winter wonderland. Depends how you want to play this game. After Dark, the last DLC, did add some nice things to City Skylines. But it wasn't really stuff that had too much of an effect on how you actually played the game, bar some nice new roads to help you with transport with bus lanes and some leisure and tourism options that were fun to build. Snowfall, however, does have an effect on your gameplay. It makes you manage your power resources, your heating, slowing your growth maybe, but makes you actively consider the long term before you place a road. It makes you plan for the future of your city, and I find that to be enjoyable and a little bit more challenging than before. It's also made me sit back and watch my city a little bit more, so the money can accumulate up before I spend it all and run out again, which is quite nice, because before I generally didn't take the time to just sit back and watch how my city was running. So if you're thinking about getting the DLC, the prices stand at the moment $9.99 for the UK and $12.99 for the US. It's not too bad a price for a DLC that actually changes up the gameplay a little bit of a city builder game that is, at this point, coming up to a year old. And so that does it for this review. Thank you for tuning in for this video. I am the PredictedCyborg doing a video review of City Skylines new DLC Snowfall for the Sanitarium.FM. Remember, do stay tuned to this channel for more video reviews of games and movies and stuff, and tune into our shows at the website for awesome music. I will see you next time. Goodbye.